Okay, so we've been working on this. This is Glaring Fleshraker plus Keen Sense. It's been a pretty powerful combo. We even won on turn 2 with our earlier draft. Keen Sense says whenever enchanted creature, it's 1-mana enchantment. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Glaring Fleshraker says whenever you cast a colorless spell, make a spawn, and whenever a colorless creature enters, deal a damage to an opponent. This doesn't say combat damage, so every colorless spell is 1 damage, 1 card, 1 spawn, and every colorless creature is 2 damage, 2 cards, 1 spawn. So this is pretty similar to Brood Scale combo, but it's, I don't know, it's very similar to Brood Scale combo. Maybe just leave it at that. Since we played the deck recently, Spellskite has been a card I've been testing off stream. I really think it's important to main. Not only does it protect the combo, it also just draws you 2 cards when you're comboing off, which is really dang good. I decided to do a 3-1 split of Spellskite Ballista. Ballista is like 0 mana draw 2, which is good. I think I want to be able to draw like 1 copy, but I think I don't really want to play more than 1. So yeah, I've been like super excited for this, so let's get into it. You can also overlap this deck with Brood Scale if you wanted to. I haven't tested that build out yet. Oh, this is also just kind of like a cheap artifact in your Opal, the cheap artifact, but you know, it's like just enables Metalcraft, I think, better than Ballista does. Okay, looks like I'm not experiencing the issues with Mox Field. Or maybe that's fixed. Has Fair Fleshraker ever been tried? Card seems so broken. I mean, people have played Fleshraker just like in Eldrazi, and it's like always much worse there than it is in a deck with like a low mana curve. Okay, so Secluded Courtyard on Eldrazi. Probably not a mirror match. Could be, actually. So I'm going to Rumble. If I hit a Bauble, I could go Opal into Spellskite. Cool, that's exactly what happened. Can you explain how you do draw 1 damage, 1 spawn? Didn't quite get it. You put Keen Sense on a Glaring Fleshraker. Also, with K command, for each spawn you make, you get to deal a damage and draw a card. Would it make sense to go more on 0 mana artifact creatures for the draw 2s? No, it's like you can combo with this build pretty consistently, and you get to do so with higher card quality and better cantrips. Dude, the Linebreaker fans are unbothered by anything. Wastegate Battle Mage, however, pretty good. K command humans. Now we're cooking. I do like the Stone Cold just houses Frog. I mean, it also just gets Fatal Pushed, but yeah, it does have some text. Higher card quality, brother. You're playing Spellskite. Spellskite is crazy here, Todd. Why are you hating from outside the club? Todd, Spellskite is it's good. It doesn't need to be combat damage. No, it doesn't. Is 2.0 on Mox Field? It is. I think exclamation point command is working. I think maybe the extension is broken. If Smasher was 4 mana, would it still be worse than Linebreaker? I don't know. Linebreaker's not very good and Smasher's not very good. This is something I really realized was an issue in my card evaluation when I started to play Standard. Like for what I do, I really like to, I just kind of have bars of playable modern cards, unplayable modern cards. And I kind of just throw everything that I don't think is playable into my mental trash. And everything that's kind of below that bar, I just have a hard time evaluating which is better sometimes. And I do think Linebreaker is quite bad. Just, I mean, maybe not quite bad, but just I have not really seen many successes with this, and I've not seen many successes. The disrespect on the Spellskite. Many successes with Smasher either. Okay, we can redirect the Battle Mage trigger to Spellskite if we want to. I don't know that we want to here. we'll have better info after we K command. Okay, there's our combo. Yeah, I don't think that we need a mana to start to go off, or we need like a 0 mana artifact. I don't think keeping the Opal really does much. And we can even just play the Fleshraker out with Spellskite to protect it next turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a card here. Okay, perfect. So now we can start to go off. With Spellskite up in case they had to dismember. So I'm going to cast Mox Opal. I'm going to trigger the Glaring Fleshraker. The Glaring Fleshraker is going to trigger itself. And then I have not been able to always yes to Keen Sense. It just doesn't give me the option. I don't know why. I might want to use the Boseiju, so let's sack the spawn. So I can't K command for very much here, so we'll just take the Sphere, which is like 0 mana draw 2 in these spots. Try doing always yes before always yes. I did try that, Todd. It didn't work last time, but maybe I messed it up. Okay, so this will be draw 2. Despite the hatred from chat. This is 0 mana draw 2. And it's also fun that this combo is just kind of passively killing our opponent as well. Is combining this with Blade of the Bloodchief and Brood Skill too much? I wouldn't say too much. Like that is, in my mind, certainly a direction you could go with this deck. I just don't know what the best build is yet. So let's go Rumble, Rumble also draws a card because it makes a spawn, and then we can cast Spellskite if we don't find anything. Both are 0 mana draw 1s. The Drum can filter here, which is maybe a bit better. So we want to play Bauble first because we want to be finding a second Fleshraker. Second Fleshraker is something that always goes so crazy. Oh, also 6 is a big... So finding 6 here with the ability to cast it is basically game over. Because 6 like really just makes sure that you, 1... don't have almost any dead draws because you can just turn your lands into spells. And 6 also can make mana by like looping Mox Opals in these kind of spots. So I've been a lot of times just like looping Ballista here. So like Ballista is just 0 mana draw 2, 0 mana draw 2. Deal a damage. Or deal 2 damage. Then there's a second Fleshraker, which we can play. Game over. Have I talked about the new affinity for artifacts draw 3? Is it gas or unplayable? I'm having the hardest time deck building. I mean, I think eventually you're just going to try to figure out, is this card better than Thought Monitor? Thought Monitor isn't like a card I play that often anyways, so... if it's like significantly better than Thought Monitor, which I think it is probably marginally better than Thought Monitor, well, it'll see some good play. But I think it won't be the biggest deal. This card. Okay, let's play like one Haywire Mite. Let's play like one Haywire Mite. I don't think we need so many Spellskites against them. Let's just go down to 2. Thought Monitor costing 1 is a lot better. Yeah, but Thought Monitor also just doesn't cost 1 that often, but. Or at least it does on the turns you remember it. You like chain a bunch together, but on like turn 3, it usually costs like 2, 3, 4 mana. But yeah, I think basically like you'll determine one or the other is better, and you'll basically always build with one or the other. Although one is 2 colors, maybe not. Seems like you can deck yourself pretty easy. Well, can you? I feel like you have a really hard time doing that before you kill your opponent. Should this deck play Nature's Claim or Force of Vigor in the board? Maybe. So I was thinking that we're really just not really weak to Stony Silence. Stony Silence doesn't stop our combo. It stops us from like cracking Star Spheres and using Opal. But I don't think we're just that scared of that card. So it's possible we should play Force of Vigor, or it's possible we should play these kind of cards. But I think Haywire Mite, like the upside of Haywire Mite drawing 2 when you're comboing and like basically costing 0 because you get a spawn. Like it's awesome that like Haywire Mite gets to be like 0 mana draw 2 on your combo turns, but we'll see. We also don't care that much about Chalice. Like you still get the cast trigger. We do need green mana and we need a Fleshraker, but we're pretty likely to combo off if we can find those things. It that heralds the end. So I guess we'll just exile that and then scry draw. Yeah, Keen Sense is also a May, that's true. What is the plan for Trinisphere off a Karn? Lose, I guess. Or either you're in a position you can attack the Karn, you can kill them before they can play Karn, or you can win your sideboard games or win your other games. You can also Haywire Mite Trinisphere after killing Karn. So I would certainly say that this is not my beat a Karn and Trinisphere and play deck that often, but you can attack it sometimes. We also have Boseiju. Random thought, but Tower would be cool in these K command decks. Different cell for sure, but it's colorless and big mana. Yeah, maybe. I'm a big K command fan, or sorry, Tower fan. I guess both. Does Chalice actually loses the game? Yeah, Chalice on 0 doesn't do that much here. Like if like we're happy. Yeah, it's a cast trigger, so we just get to cast these and trigger. Yeah, it's not bad here for sure, but it's a pretty beatable card. Focusing Affinity, 26 months, ads equal prime. Thank you. Subscribe to watch the twitch.tv/aspiring spike ad-free. So when I beat you, you can tell me that you're no longer a fan faster and see my reaction. They probably have another one of these too, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. So this is a bit weird. I think because I'm expecting my opponent to have K command, I kind of just want to pass the turn. Although now I have to go to discard. How much damage can I do? So I can go Fleshraker, that deals 1. And then each of these deal 4. I think I can just discard. Well, no, we can just play a Fleshraker. It's okay. Just play 1. Yeah, this way they don't get to make spawns and scry draw. We do have 2. Yeah, Chalice on 1 is better against us than Chalice on 0. I agree. And they don't have it. That's great news. They maybe have like a bunch of like Fleshrakers in their hand that they can't cast. Or not Fleshrakers, Line Breakers. Okay, Forest Guildgate. Do I attack? All right, let's see what gets us here if we attack. How many color sources per K command deck without Temple? Without Temple, I think you want like 14 minimum. Ideally like 15, 16. With Temple, you can do as low as 12. Because Temple's like double. At least that's what I've been doing. Okay, so let's cast another one of these. You know, if they do have a Dismember, it seems kind of unlikely, right? I feel like they probably would have main phased anything. I do have pretty close to lethal here, actually. I actually just have lethal in my hand because these are each 4 damage. My opponent's not F6, so I almost just kind of want to make them make the first move. Are we not casting Keen Sense? Well, we don't have to cast Keen Sense here is the thing. Because I could have lethal without casting it, so we get to play around this Dismember. You learned something! Thanks for tuning into the stream! Hope you learned something every day. Double Dismember. So my Shifting Woodland can copy Fleshraker next turn, but I don't have enough green mana without my opals. Unless I like draw a green source here and then draw a green source next turn. Does seem like that's what we're going to go for now. Yeah, I didn't enchant first because of what happened. I'm playing around my opponent having this interaction. And I had the luxury of doing that because I could just present lethal without casting the Keen Sense. So you get to sear one of my senses. You could continue Fleshraker right there with Scion Sax. You could continue with Fleshraker right there with Scion Sax. So, okay, one, I don't think that that's true because I couldn't activate Shifting Woodland. I don't have enough green mana. Sacking Scion doesn't do anything with Fleshraker, so I explained to me exactly what I'm doing with the Scion Sax because I don't think that there is anything. So I drawn an Urza Saga. I could deal my opponent 3 damage by copying the Fleshraker. Let's just play the Saga instead. Bone Sheen, 57 months. I learned something once. Now I have to pay $5 for the rest of my life. Yeah, the Aspiring Spike scam. Yeah, we can get Drum off the Saga, maybe. Okay. I have 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So I can kill the Thought-Knot Seer if they like dismember. I guess they wouldn't. I can play around dismember actually. No, in all caps, says Felipe. Keen Sense. Okay, oh, you wanted to Keen Sense the Ballista? Because we can Keen Sense our Fleshraker that we woodland next turn, which will give us the ability to win the games. But we could have Keen Sense the Ballista and drawn 5 cards. Could have been good. Ballista for 5, Keen Sense, ping and draw. Yeah, maybe I feel like I want to save it to combo, but it looks like we're gonna win this game. I know people are very like thirsty to do this. How did the Black White Ephemeral deck do at RCs? That's a good question. I don't think I know. Think winning's a bit better. Maybe not if you're streaming. But I also feel like I want to take this line. Third highest win rate day 2. Okay, that's not bad. I have 7 different card types in the yard here. Is this Splinter Twin? It's pretty close to Splinter Twin. No, I put it on the wrong. Okay, this is fine. I did put it on the wrong thing, but they concede anyways. We're gonna win anyways. We're gonna draw 5 cards and deal 4 damage here, but okay, we have a combo, so let's keep. You don't get to draw. Okay. The aura's in the graveyard before damage resolves. Right, but wouldn't it be like last known information? Like when the ballista died, it had that information. Like, it does not give the creature the ability. Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Another Devour deck. Of course, all of the Eldrazi cowards refuse to queue into me when I'm main decking my fields and my ghost quarters. And now they think it's safe, but it's not safe. I'm going to get them. I have seen Dredge's Insight. It could be a Yawgmoth card. Could be a Yawgmoth card. Card on top. So let's use the Bauble as a scry here. Would love to find an Eldrazi Temple. There's a sphere. I think we'll shuffle the sphere away. Gonna get a wastes. Currently playing Hollowvine and Is It Lutrian paper at FNM. Cool. Is my pet deck up next? Yes, of course. Is there a reason for Sphere over Star? If your opponent has Graveyard Hit, you still get to draw a card off Sphere. And they can't respond to the activation with Bowmaster. So they rumble over a Karn. Karn, the Great Creator, is fucking good against us. But they're thinking about maybe taking Talisman. They do choose the Karn. Maybe they don't have another land in their hand. I heard someone mention Dredger's Insight. It feels so good in Yogg, even if it's worse than Rumble. Yeah, I would think that Rumble is probably better, but I could be wrong. They're not casting the Karn. So if I wait, I think you're supposed to K command their spawn, so they can't Karn here. I think you're right. Okay, I think I'm just gonna play a Fleshraker. What the heck is that heinously unreadable game piece? This is Writhing Chrysalis. Cast a Worldbreaker. Cast a Null Drifter. Is this an MTG Online exclusive artwork? Yeah, but like not intentionally, you know what I mean? They also only have 2 K commands in their deck. Cast a Michael Spawn. Nice. Not intentionally. So a lot of the art is bugged at the moment, and some of it just does kind of happen to look beautiful, like this does. We'll be doing some Ketramos cooking. Yeah, for sure. I think that card's cool. So then they get a Labby Wabby. They imprinted the Devour that they revealed at the start of this game, and then presumably they're going to cast the Karn. But it seems like they're going to cast the Karn without the ability to play a lock piece. Yeah, the 2/2 that like 4 spikes. That card also looks pretty cool. They get a coding, which is just definitely worse than Cityscape Leveler, but whatever. They just always get coding. It's crazy. How are people still just getting coding in these spots? I don't understand. One advantage to this combo over Brood Scale is that you're a lot better against Karn. Okay, Mox Opal is really good because I can loop them with 6, even through the Karn. So is it better to cast K command first, or is it better to cast 6? I think we should cast 1 K command first. This is a draw 3. Make 2 spawns. I need this green mana for the 6 just to be safe. So I do only have 1 land in my hand. So I could go 6, retrace, and then I could cast K command for 0 if I found nothing. I think I'm going to try this line, which is not a line I've really had the luxury of taking. But let's try this. Let's try to grab a second Keen Sense and see how this performs for us. So I can go second Keen Sense. How are we getting green mana now? I'm committed to not getting green mana and trying to win that way. Bless you. Good one. This is what, draw 4? Remember, Keen Sense is a May, so we don't need to be too worried about decking ourselves. Unclear at the moment if we need to be worried about wrecking ourselves. I burped right before Spike said bless you. You know, I was just thinking with 1,300 of you, like, Esther sneezed, but statistically, what are the chances that I'd be blessing one of you too? Actually, I bless all of you. Go now in peace. Me and Esther have been watching Daredevil lately. Could you play Grinding Station Breach in a version of this, like, or not play Grape Shot or Thoracle since you win a Fleshraker? So you could. We actually have that deck built. I built that deck like really early into MH3. You could also play Skittering Precursor in that shell. That deck's pretty sweet. So far our Keen Sense deck is just this, and I've liked building the deck as just this. I think this is a good way to build it. You could overlap it with Brood Scale, and you could overlap it with Breach too. So let me think about. I think I would like
yogurt
in the fridge or the freezer.
in the fridge.
That's crazy.
Right.
Okay, so let's bring in a Needle for Karn and a Haywire Mite. Let me cut a Ballista and a 6. Can you overlap it with Storm? I mean, probably not. Good thing opponent cast some playable garbage instead of Karn that one turn. Yeah. Yes. Okay, opponent is on the play. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Anything you can do against Stonebrain decks? I mean, just cast a Fleshraker before Stonebrain, I guess. Urza Saga them. That card does seem good. Alright, this ain't good win turn 3. Well, no, I think it's more serious now. Esther's cooking, and I'm like, hey, sweetie, I was just reading there's bird flu outbreaks. Try not to eat anything with eggs. And she's like, I've been eating stuff with eggs. I'm like, why are you fighting? Why are we arguing about this? Don't eat the eggs. Okay, so this lets me get a Mox Opal, which gives me a pretty critical 3rd extra mana on turn 3. So I think I'm going to play the Saga. Nice. Save that for the Fleshraker. Can you get it from eggs? I think so. We'll see. We'll talk about it more. Can't you just cook the eggs? I don't know. Maybe just eat something else. Is what it was my pitch. I'll look into it more. I just kind of read a headline when I was peeing. So this is not medical advice. Medical advice on this channel comes later, where you all just tell me about your medical problems, and I'll purely on vibes give you some feedback. Cast a Null Drifter. They keep a card on top, they put a card on the bottom. Cast not something that Stone Rains me. Dang it, that Stone Rains me. Ooh. I think they're targeted the wrong one here, so I can go float, get Opal. I can at least cast my Fleshraker this turn. Float, get Opal. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I can't attach Keen Sense to Fleshraker and then pop off. I think I'll just cast the Sphere so that if they can kill my Fleshraker, which I probably can't win anyways, but if they can kill the Fleshraker, then this lets me like pop the Bauble this turn and gives me an extra colorless, so like K command can bail me out. Thankfully, Devourer can't kill Fleshraker. Durin freaking 15 months. Spike, I started sweating and my whole heart beats really fast whenever I see Aetherflux Reservoir. What is wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you. That's the normal human reaction. Right before a date, look at your Aetherflux Reservoirs. Maybe intentionally get bird flu to make yourself stronger. Maybe. All right, second K command. Again, the correlation between drawing 2K commands and winning games is very high as an Eldrazi gamer. I did my best Durber freaking. Maybe you need a German streamer like Dino to accommodate you. They imprint the Devourer. They have 7 mana, 2 cards in their hand, 2 types in the yard for a Nimmercool. Taking 5 down to 14. There's a Vista, so I can K-Command for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X equals 3. This is not enough, it seems. Not enough, it seems, to cast a Fleshraker and combo off, so let's just go ahead and pass the turn. Bajuka Bog. Kind of surprised that's still in the deck. Utopia Sprawl. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So an Emrakul cost 11. So if they have an Eldrazi Temple, or I guess Lab plus Imprintable, they could cast an Emrakul next turn. I wonder if it's better to exile their K commands than it is to make spawns. I think the answer is make spawns because just another K command is so good here, but it's kind of close. You know what we'll do if their last card is third Kozilek's command? We'll go to game 3. Okay. I guess I keep the Temple also. It's like a little weird, but it just lets me see 1 extra card. So you think you just might as well keep it here. And it seems like I can go full K command here too, because I could just cycle the sphere into green mana for Keen Sense. Not quite Demonic Tutor, but not too far off. Should we have blocked and sacked? Yeah, maybe. So X equals 7. I just bottomed a few more non-Fleshraker cards too, so our chances of finding one are kind of high. There's one. Nice. Okay, so let's go to the bottom here. I guess we could theoretically keep these lands for 6, huh? Yeah, it looks like I can keep the 6 because I have the Mox Opal to make green, so let's go top. 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 Sack this. Make a green. They've got 1 card in their hand. They've already played 2 K commands. If they have a third, we get to go to game 3. We have the luxury of going to game 3 if they have a third one. We could keep a Rumble. Oh, we only are going to have 1 green mana early. I don't think we can afford Rumble. All right, not going to beat the third one that often. Let's go to game 3. Cool that we were just like going to win from that spot. Okay, 3 Spellskite seems like still a good number. Let's go to game 3 on the play this time. Yeah, whoever draws more Kozilek's command wins. This is modern in 2025. Dude, we just have the combo in every hand so far. I think I got to keep the needle for naming Karn. But what's really nice about this hand is that they kind of just can't K-command my Fleshraker in time because I'm on the play and I have a Temple. How does this deck compare to Brood Scale combo deck? So you get to play more card selection potentially. I guess you could play Stirrington Rumble too, so maybe that's not the case. But like you know, one big thing is we beat a Karn the Great Creator. We beat I guess they could have Talisman turn 1. Hold on, let me think here. So you better get like Stony Silences and Karn, which is good. Okay, so if I go Rumble next turn, I can start to pop off. I think I'm just gonna play the Fleshraker. They have to have Soul Land and Decay Command, and it's just like they could also have a. I guess they could have K Return also, but I like that this lets me like pressure a Karn if they have it. What should they ban next? Who cares? I'm not interested in talking about bans. I'm interested in working on my cool brews. I'm having a lot of fun. We just trophied today with Spore Frog, Ghost Quarter, Ramming Up Excavator. We have Keen Sense in our hand right now. I'm not interested in talking about bans. All right, no Soul Land. Really good to see. Cast Michael Spawn. Nice. So the Imprinted Devourer. A lot of good draws here. And we also already have the combo, which is good. Pretty good draws so far. Let me take a look at my top card, see if I want to shuffle it away. No, let's keep that. I forgot to tap my Opal first, though. It's okay, we can tap it now. Let's name You Are Already Dead. Okay, so I'm going to float a mana. I'm going to see if I like my top card. Kind of marginal, but I'm going to play my land. So yeah, I'm just going to shuffle that away real quick. I think I keep this green floating instead of... Or I guess I just leave forest up instead of making one more spawn. You are really, really dead, I promise, is what I should type now. Yeah, Splinter Twin, so back. Although Keen Sense somehow is the new Splinter Twin. What a timeline. Ooh. Pretty good. How did I find about this interaction? So it was like Thursday last week. There was a lot of people asking me if I had seen the legacy version of the stack that's playing Curiosity plus Fleshraker. And so then on stream, it was Thursday or Friday. We started to build this deck. And now we're actually just getting to really focus on it in the league. Caustic, 3 years, 36 months, dude, and not once have I seen you play Mill. I think I played Mill for Dono decks a couple times, and never again. Love you. Okay. Sad hand to mulligan. Definitely clicking the keep button. I think I'm putting back Opal. Kind of sad. What made you play green over blue? Blue has good card selection, I feel like. Blue has much worse card selection than green. Like, in a deck like this, like, getting to play Ancient Stirrings, Malevolent Rumble, Haywire Mite seems to be much better than anything blue could offer you. So, you can also play Brood Scale if you wanted to. So yeah, I just, like, let me know, like, you know, 6 is also, like, really, really good in this deck, too. It's like, it just like, it lets you like retrace your Fleshrakers if they die, and then also makes your combo really deterministic. And so I kind of don't think that there's like basically any card in blue that would really be drawing me to this deck. Yeah, you might be a little legacy brained, I don't know. Yeah, in Legacy, you get like Force of Will, Brainstorm, Ponder, all those cards are banned. It's really sad this deck can't support Ugin's Lab. I mean, this is just like kind of the case for like basically no Fleshraker deck wants to be an Ugin's Lab deck. There may be some exceptions, but Fleshraker is good when you have a really low curve. Lab is good when you have a really high curve. They just, you know, have conflicting deck building restrictions. Why did you cut Ballista? Seems serviceable, 0, and good plan B for Keen Sense. So this is a decision I made after playtesting. one, it wasn't very good with Keen Sense. Like you have to play like a big ballista to turn you get like a 7 mana draw 3, or a 5 mana draw 2, but just like, or sorry, 5 mana draw 1, 7 mana draw 2, because you don't get the last card. And that has not really been a good formula. This temple seems really valuable, but also like the more Fleshrakers, the better, I think. How do you keep going with Ballista? So Ballista is not like, so you can retrace it, but like you're just gonna go X equals 0 Ballista most of the time. That's mostly what you're doing with the card. Here we're probably gonna make a Saga token and to cast a bunch of Fleshrakers. We'll see what happens. This maybe just kill him with Fleshraker kind of hand. But yeah, Ballista just wasn't that good, and Spellskite was really good in my testing. Spellskite's also just like 2 mana, or it's a kind of like 1 mana draw 2 when you're comboing, because it gives you a mana back. Gives you a mana back. That card was again really performing quite well. Isn't third Fleshraker super greedy? I don't know. I mean, is it? Maybe it's bad against this Wrath the Skies, but like with third Fleshraker, I don't even need Keen Sense to kill my opponent, and I feel like I can just pop off super crazy. I guess I save this for the Fleshrakers. Like I think the decision to take Fleshraker there is, to me, seems a lot more complicated than this is super greedy, or this is, or whatever the opposite of greedy is. To me, this just seemed like a really complicated decision. I wonder if they're playing the looting build. How many Veils do I have? I think I have 4. I've just been like jamming four Veils in my green sideboards until I kill all the Dimir players, lose them all as fans. The opposite of greedy, disciplined. Yeah, I wouldn't, like, discipline just doesn't feel like it applies to me here, just because again, it was just such a complicated decision point. But maybe it does apply. So they're not buying back their Wrath the Skies. Casting a Flage. This Tamio is pretty scary. Should have 1 more mana. Shout out Eldrazi Temple. I mean, I think Temple would have been maybe better against this Wrath the Skies, so. And then this is better against more removal. So I really need to combo off next turn. So I think I am... okay, I really need to combo off next turn, but that doesn't seem very possible. So I don't know. Tough game. Wrath the Skies is very good. In fact, maybe I should just concede and not show them the K command. Because I don't really think I can beat them minusing the Tamio, or if they have nothing, or plusing the Tamio if they don't have nothing. I guess I could beat minus Tamio if they don't have nothing, so let's play it out. I guess also I just don't need to exile the Flage. Yeah, I actually don't need to. I actually would like love for them to tap out for Flage here. So yeah, that's okay. That makes me more optimistic. You played Waste, they probably know you have K command deck. Yeah, true. K command, take Flage plus Skies from the graveyard. The thing is, I just kind of changed my attitude a little bit here when I realized the best thing that could happen here is my opponent escapes Flage. Like this is the best possible outcome, because this gives me the most likely chance to win the game next turn. So this seems to be my line instead. Nettle Drone as backup Fleshraker. So we've played Skirting Precursor as like extra spawn generation. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I don't know why I'm reading Nettle Drone right now. That like tap steals a damage, right? Tap, deal 1 damage whenever you cast this color spell on tap. But cool, it is kind of a backup. It's much worse though because it has 1 toughness. I don't know if this is something you could really get me to sign up for, but it's cool. All right, I think we're keeping both of these. So I can go next turn. Temple, Fleshraker, Opal, K command. Oh, they have another land. So, okay, so let's say I do that, though. I'm going to have 3 spawns, 5 spawns. My K command will be X equals 3. This will deal 4 plus 4. Oh, sorry, no, 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, so 10. So 10 plus 4 plus 1. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is going to be lethal if they have nothing, so I think we found their best line. If Nettledrone was like a 3/3, I'd be pretty tempted to play like 1 copy. Although you have to splash for it too. Got through Counterspell. Got through a removal spell. I guess they could have solved Force, maybe. Yeah, it's the first league today. I think we played a few matches, but like I think we played 3 matches on Friday with a slightly worse list, where we won 1 match and then conceded 2 matches to focus on challenge matches. Okay, so this K command should be 10 damage if it resolves. A pretty convenient number. I don't know what happened. It just kind of resolved. Let's go. Yeah, well, multiple Fleshrakers is just so nuts. It's very hard to say that taking extra copy was greedy there. Now I don't know about these Veils. Like Jeskai decks just don't play a lot of counter magic. I guess they're gonna have a bunch of consigns though. They're gonna have like 4 consigns post board. So I guess the Veils get good post board. How does this deck compare strength-wise to my other Fleshraker combo brews? It's kind of hard to tell because to some extent, it feels like we're winning some games here because our opponents aren't that familiar with the combo. So a little bit hard to tell, but so far this deck has seemed good and I've liked it. And we're only a few matches in, so I just don't know if I can really answer that in good conscience. +1 Soul Guide for Flage. Well, we have the K commands for Flage. I think I could be down to cut a Springleaf Drum, maybe. Nah, I think we could just like have K command for Flage. Could we ever play Warping Well sideboard for Meltdown Wrath? You could. Does Veil counter consigned abilities? Or only spells? Only spells. No Tommy is good. Spellskite's good. Don't want another Saga. If they tune the narrative here, I'm not going to play Saga next turn, but if they don't, I will. Probably. Because of Wrathless guys. I'm curious about how transferable this plan is to other decks, because like if you had another plan that was also threatening to have to focus more on the Fleshraker. Yeah, so you could play either Brood Scale, you could play Skittering Precursor Breach, but yeah, so far this build has seemed pretty good too. Yeah, so if they Wrath next turn, then we can Rumble. If they go Tune plus Wrath for 2. It kind of stinks this turn, but hard to play around that. And then maybe we can just play 6 with Spellskite protection next turn. Like, there's a chance here my opponent just has, like, Consign up, and we get to resolve 6, which would be pretty cool. And if they Wrath next turn, the 6 is alive. Lag's been fixed. Not exactly. It seems kind of random how much lag there is. It seems like for me, my experience today has been that the beginning of matches are not very laggy. But the longer the match goes, the laggier it is. Oh, so I probably should have retraced Bauble once. Not gonna be the biggest deal. Okay, so surely they didn't have Wrath Disguise in their hand if they didn't go Wrath into, or Attune into Wrath. Maybe they could just be getting kind of greedy. Maybe they've drawn it. Maybe I'm wrong. Seems like they have it. This is quite bad for me. It's good to have this Woodland with Delirium, though. It's bad to get 3 for 1 in Magic the Gathering. We're so close to being able to combo. Is this greedy? Black for Unearth and Thoughtseize. I mean, splashing a 3rd color seems tough. It's easier if it's red, because you get access to Grove of the Burn Willows, which is a particularly good fixer for these kind of decks. I almost like just like attacking with 6 here. I think because I have 2 Fleshrakers, I'm just gonna test 1 here, but I think this will trade for a Consign probably. Why is Grove a really good fixture in this situation? Because it taps for colorless, red, and green without costing you any life, and you don't really care about their life total. So it's like an untapped, painless tri-land. So maybe we can get them to tap out for another Wrath, although it would only cost them 2 mana. It's a Flame of Anor? So I could maybe try to play around Consign by shifting Woodland Fleshraker instead of casting it here. So this would cost 1, 2, 3. I think that this makes sense. Like that's exactly what they're repping is Consign. And it seems like we have a really high chance of just winning if we Woodland here. They have Solitude, but I feel like if they have Snapcaster, they're not super likely to have that card in their deck. Thoughts on a Thunderkin, Skelemental, Aggro Core. Are the cards too gimmicky to find a home in Modern? This is definitely an archetype that people really like, and an archetype that people have been trying to make work for a long time. I don't think that your deck is super high card quality if you build the deck in this way. I think you're really weak to graveyard hate. Which is, so it's just kind of bad to have like low card quality and really weak to graveyard hate, because you might as well play something more powerful like Persist Archon. But I think you would have some success if you built the deck in that way. Okay. Yes, they did choose to consign the trigger, which I think was a good decision on their part. Maybe we should just got another forest. I'm not 100% sure. This is like a 0 mana draw too, though. Too bad I can't quite cast that. Oh, I can't play this as a land. Pass turn. So we lose our Keen Sense, which kind of stinks. We did get them to use the Consign. Seven cards in their hand. So they're going to cast a Flage. A Charmaw. Also pretty bad. Might have to settle this in game 3. And maybe not. I'm not playing this first so much to play around creature removal. because I don't think my opponent has any relevant creature removal here. But I am playing it first to play around Consign, because I think my opponent just wouldn't consign the Spellskite. And if they have a second Wrath Disguise, we go to game 3. Game 3 it is. Get to be on the play this time. Yeah, I haven't tried this combo in Brood Scale. It's something that I would like to do. Something we could maybe do tomorrow. Maybe I do it tonight and just see how it feels. Got a lot to get to. Modern is pretty exciting at the moment. I did not see Teamer Prowess at top 80 challenge. Pretty cool. Sounds fun. Cavern be a sideboard card to fight Consign. I feel like Veil is way better, but because it's just like you get to be so good against Dimir. Like Veil just stops Fatal Push and Counterspell and Consign. It just kind of does everything against them. Oh, I think the Mox Field has the Ballista in the sideboard for some reason. I'm that reason, I guess. Good card to see. Kind of hope they play Tamio turn 1 now. Do you like Defense Grid for this deck? I like Veil of Summer. I like Veil of Summer. Hard to say no to a Rumble. I do my best to sack the Chromatic Spheres so it doesn't get Wrath Disguised. Uh-oh. Yeah, this deck is definitely not probably super good against Jeskai control, which is probably a fine place to be. Let's hope they don't have a Wrath Disguise. We could beat Wrath without Tune. I mean, every blue deck in the format plays 3 Consign. Yeah, but we have 4 Veil of Summers, which is I think this is almost clearly just the best anti-counterspell card because the main counterspell deck is Dimir. Okay, now they got 5 cards in their hand. We drawn an Urza Saga, so we're still playing. Let's get ready to rumble. I found a Fleshraker, which is great. And I even have the luxury of playing a Spellskite out first. If they have a second Wrath, they got a second Wrath. We'll just cast the Fleshraker and hope for the best. Is it Flage? Flage would be unbelievable. Okay, Charm all again. Pretty good choice on the Charmal target. Okay, Cavern of Soul fans. You win this time. Tough game. And we already have our drum in the yard too, which is pretty tough. Imagine Cavern being your only colorless source and you can't make it uncounterable. Not that that would happen here, but that would be so sad. Some question, we can't Spellskite Charmal's trigger. Yeah, it's not a legal target for the Charmal's ETB. Wrath is just such a disaster for us every time it happens. Yeah, I mean, they also, like, we were doing okay against 2 without Tune into Wrath. Tune into Wrath is really just like the actual... the actual, you just have no plan. So I really would love to be able to hold Veil up for the Fleshraker. I guess I'm going to grab Chromatic Sphere. And I'm going to try to draw Eldrazi Temple. Try my hardest. Drew Shifting Woodland, which is not indeed so bad. Isn't Spellskiting fetches how you kill someone trigger? So you can activate Spellskite targeting any trigger, but the Spellskite only redirects if it's a legal target. So yes, you can activate it, but no, you can't. It doesn't mean it does anything. Flame of Anor to draw 2. So honestly, if we just draw like Bauble, Opal, Sphere, our hand is just so perfect. Especially if it's one of the 0 drops, our hand is so perfect. I'm taking 4. My opponent's got 7 cards in their hand. It's a lot of cards. They didn't have a consign last turn. You also get to attack and draw 2. You can attack with Keen Sense. Literally not something I thought about. Sad this isn't Lightning Bolt. Okay. That matchup seems bad. Okay. Moving on. Now that's a pretty hand if I ever did see one. They're last seen 2 days ago playing Grinding Station, so good chance that that's what they're still playing. Let's see if this is a Scalding Tarn Steam Vents preordained build. Looks like it is. 2 Unholy Heats. Don't need to play too hard around those. Good chance it's worth it still just to play Spellskite this turn. Obviously, that's the best draw. Was that the flame version with Snappy without Kiora? Seemed like that was the build, yeah. It's not gonna be the easiest to combo off next turn. So we had the option to just try to race or to play around on Holy Heat. I don't know. It seems close. The worst of both worlds, maybe. And they've updated their list because they weren't main decking Needle here. They do name Spellskite. Another Opal. It's not a bad draw. So we go cast Opal, trigger Fleshraker. Tap Opal for a green, Keen Sense or Fleshraker. Cast another Opal. Drum is pretty good pickup. I'll choose an Opal to keep. Duh. Okay, Ballista's pretty good. Let me... just try to see if we can find a second Fleshraker before we cast the Ballista, but we're definitely drawing quite well here. The 6 is quite good also. Seems like we can afford to cast this still. We have just somehow tons of mana. Now, is a second Fleshraker the best thing to get here? I think it's actually another KK, because the second Fleshraker doesn't actually help me get more cards, which seems to be my choke point. And the K command just draws so many cards here. So I still have my land to play, which is kind of nuts. Actually, let me correct the Bauble on myself, just see what my top card is. I have 5 mana available. It's another copy of Keen Sense. Sorry, I want to leave Colorless available for the K command and I can get Colorless off the Vista. Oh wait, but I'm discarding the Vista. But I have Colorless off the spawn, okay. But yeah, I can just go. I'm not sure if I sequence this right, but I can just go discard Ballista, retrace, draw 2, and it's just like you get to draw so many cards. So, and then I still had another K command for at least one more card. Yeah, they needled Spellskite there, so we're up a game against Breach. Up a game against Breach. Their sideboard they have, or this is not up to date, but they have Boseiju's, 2 Nature's Claim, 3 Consign. So I think we want the quad Haywire Mite. I think we want both Needles. And then I think I want, right, let's just do 1 Veil of Summer. Let's cut the Ballista. Let's cut the Stirrings. Let's go down a Spellskite. They're not playing that much removal. 6 is also kind of slow. It's good with Haywire Mite. We are bringing in a lot of, like, I think we can cut a Sphere because we bring in all these Mites. Could you see yourself going to a tournament with this deck? Yeah, I mean, it's really early. This is like my 4th. No, this is like my 7th match I've played with this build, but it's been good. We've been winning a lot. We lost to Jeskai Control, which is a really bad matchup, but that seems like not such a big problem right now. So, drawing that, I'm just gonna hold the Haywire Mite to like pop off. I might be able to win on turn 3 without Keen Sense. And they also die on turn 3. So I could play the Haywire Mite. My opponent would need 0 mana artifact plus Breach to kill me. Let me see what I draw. I drew my own copy of Keen Sense. I really don't like that I'm not in a position to win if I don't cast a Fleshraker here. I think if they just kill me turn 3, they kill me turn 3. I think this is gonna give me the best chance to win this game. Thanks, Chocolate Pancake, for the 34 months. Fire Spouts. So I'm going to be 1 mana short of continuing to do anything. I didn't die last turn, though, so I think I should just play another one of these. I'm getting like a strong vibe that they're just going to flip the Tamiyo here. Tamiyo flying, really cool. Hey, Gab. Land, sack, clue. Land, sack, clue. They milled over an Unholy Heat. I don't know how much more removal they have. Plays a Misty Rainforest. Does not sack a clue. So what can we infer that this means? I think we can infer that this means they're most likely to have... No, they would have already heated. They must have Consign, right? So if they have Consign, we should Keen Sense before playing second Fleshraker. Then I think we just play the second Fleshraker, let it get consigned. Any thoughts on the RC results? Make it for yours. No, my plan this year is to like play some of the Spotlight Series events and some Magic Cons, but I'm also getting married this year, so I'm not even playing as many. But I haven't played an RCQ in like 9 months. And also, Gab, I didn't look super closely at the RC results yet. I'm not a very good Modern streamer. I did think I thought that Edgar's Breach build looked really good. I thought the like main deck portable holes, like being like Bant base with like your splashing Breach. I thought that looked kind of great. Probably can't keep this one. They're on a mold of 6. We had 6 in our hand. Could be good to like keep the second Saga. It's probably fine to put it back. I'm 19-6 across 5 leagues with the Blue White Affinity deck Spike Brood last week. Nice. Because game gets most of the meta. White Black mid ratio is like the hardest. Cool. Yeah, I like that one too. I know Gav's been working on that one a lot too. His build's pretty different. Is there a good sideboard card in Reckless against Breach? Meltdown so bad? Yeah, I would not consider Meltdown to be that good. I mean, depends on like I think Leyline is a card I would be bringing in against them. I like that it like helps against Imri and Tamio in addition to being um good against Breach, of course. I think Pithing Needle is a good card, not only because it's good against that, but it hits Yogg and Belcher too, so there's some splash damage, which is nice. Okay, we didn't find another land. We did find Arcane Sense. Also don't know what my opponent's doing. Creativity, maybe. Yeah, there's also it's like needle is like a nice tool that's kind of a more versatile sideboard card, so that's good. Leyline is fine. I'm not a huge Damping Sphere fan. I feel like maybe I'm forgetting a big one. Oh, is this Storm? Storm will be a nice relaxing matchup here, maybe. It is Storm. So if we draw a land, we could combo off next turn. What was cut for main deck Spellskite? I end up going down to I think I was playing 4 ballistas. The list has changed some, so I ended up cutting the main deck Mite and the main deck Lantern. I've not been missing them. Just sideboarding the sideboard cards in the combo deck. And then I went down to just 1 Ballista in the main, 3 Spellskites in the main. I might just want to play the 4th Spellskite in the main, but 3-1 has been feeling like a good split at the moment. All right, step aside, Storm. We are now the real turn 3 combo deck. Although I guess we're still not very likely to combo. Yeah, but it really depends on like what is your Rakdos deck? Is it Hollow One? You probably just play Leyline and try to raise. So we need Bauble, Star, another Mox, or Ballista really badly here. Don't find any of those, so we may keep a fan yet as we pass the turn to our Storm opponent. Grafdiggers and Dothy. Yeah, Grafdiggers is nice because it also stops Imri. And also stops Saga. Cool. Good tech. I do think that somehow like the format still seems like under-teched for Breach. That people are not exactly coming with good plans. Kind of like Gab was saying on the coverage stream, just people just still play Dimir Oculus no matter what. It's just like the Murktide thing. The Murktide effect. Okay, 3 cards left. Another Desperate Ritual. So they probably have a Passed in Flames or a Wish if they're doing that. There's the Passed in Flames. So we need a Glimpse, a Reckless Impulse, 2 Manamorphose to brick. Seems unlikely. Can you explain why you didn't Stirrings to dig for another artifact there? Yes, I can. I did not because I could not. Mox Opal is not without downside. We have no Metalcraft. Nor do we have green mana if we wanted to use a spawn. Oh, now our opponent can lose 15 flips in a row. How effective do you think Surgical is versus them? It's less effective now that most builds play like Jace Wielder of Mysteries, although I don't know if they've like cut that tech. It can be good. It can be good. I would board it in. All right, let's go to game 2. I don't have a lot against them. I've been liking Tormod Crypt a bit more against them lately. I think we'll play 1 Haywire Mite. Probably don't need these Spellskites. I think maybe Crypts and not Lantern. Go to 6. Yeah, the Jace has been looking good. I don't know if people are playing it or not. I can't remember, but I don't think Edgar was playing it. I might be misremembering. How well do you think the deck would perform if we went more budget and caught Mox Opal? It would perform a lot worse, unfortunately. Opal is super important here. Hard hand to mulligan. Let's get out the calculator. So I can draw an Ancient Stirrings or any of my 17 lands after I fetch. Can I draw Mox Opal? No, but I could draw Bauble. Yeah, we'll count Bauble for the Opal that's in our hand. So let's get the calculator out. So we're going to have 17 lands in our deck that are successes, 4 Stirrings, for Bauble. So that's going to put us up to 25 successes, a sample size of 52 after we fetch, and a sample size of 2. So we have a 73% chance of hitting. Let's keep. Every time you get out the calc, I feel good about my doubt. Well, we'll see. You still feel good? Do you always keep when the chances are 70+%? I haven't really found a situation where my answer to that question would be no. But there could be. I was hoping to hit another land here. Worst case, you can still cycle Sphere. I calculated cycling Sphere into this. Nice. What if they have any interaction for me? Not deterministic yet. I guess I messed up by sacking my Sphere, actually. They're surveilling so they can F6. Because like I could have sacked it after I tapped this Opal. Without really any cost. Too bad I can't tap Opal in response to Ballista dying. Okay, but there's an online Opal. So now I can play my second Fleshraker before the Ballista. If I want to. Seems like I'll want to. Yeah, Curiosity is modern legal, but Keen Sense is better because it's green. This combo is so fun. It is. This is a sweet deck. Gen deck with top 32, sweet from RC. Yeah, let's take a look. Dark Confidant close. Sorry. It's just like, how am I supposed to take 2 Dark Confidant, 3 Bowmaster seriously? Like, I don't know. I can't do it, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I was the kind of streamer that was like, Dark Confidant Pog. I can't. Don't have it in me. All right, close hand, got a mulligan. They're also on the mold to 6. This hand's a little awkward that I have to like kind of cash in my zeros before the Fleshraker, but it seems like I need to. Stirrings on turn 1. Hard to argue with record. Hard to argue that you should put Dark Confidant in your modern deck. They play well at RC. Yeah, I mean, congratulations. I'm glad they did well, but I just am not going to put really any value on a Dark Confidant list. You know, good for them. I'm happy for them. I'm not going to really entertain that this is a deck that looks good. You know, I'm not going to lie to y'all. Yeah, I think I'm going to cast 6 next turn and then cast the Fleshraker, although this may be too slow. Like good for them. I'm proud of them. They had a good run. I'm sure they played well. I'm sure they're like a Jund expert. But I don't know. I'm not ever gonna probably put Dark Confidant in a modern deck again. Yeah, Scred wanted GP. You know, it is what it is. I mean, Bowmaster is nowhere. Bowmaster being nowhere is not... Like Dark Confidant just sucks. Even if there were no Ogrish Bowmasters in the format, I just think I would just still never play the card. I'm not trying to be mean. I just would not play the card. Congratulations to them. Yeah, Caustic Bronco is better than Dark Confidant. Like they've printed what is almost just a strictly better Dark Confidant. It's like a Dark Confidant that deals them damage. There's Nethergoyf. There you can play the 4th Orcish Bowmaster. Sorry, I'm sorry for hating too much. Y'all are making me do this. What makes Skred the card good? So Skred could deal more than 3 damage for 1 red mana and kill Tarmogoyf and that was kind of it. I'm just gonna kill my Fleshraker with Ral. Painful top deck. Should have kept the 6 line, I guess. How dead are we to this? The new 2 mana, 3 power equal number of artifacts would be good in blue-white opal. Probably not, no. Let's take a closer look at it. So it doesn't seem like my opponent is going to be able to cast Passion Flames if they don't have another like ritual in their hand or find it off the Rin's Resolve. They hit an untapped land, but still no ritual. So maybe they just cast Ruby Medallion and then lose every Ruby. Okay. You just do your thing. Oh, there's a Manamorphose. I didn't even see the Manamorphose. So they play another Ral. They're going to lose some of this. Okay. So let's get Springleaf Drum. Play the Sphere. Play a Rumble. Grab a Tormod's Crypt. Pretty tempting to have taken the land to cast 6, but I think taking the Sphere to try to slow them down makes more sense. Or should the Crypt? And they concede. Wow. Kind of an unbelievable concession, but I'll take it. 4-1. So I think this deck I mean, obviously that was kind of a softball at the end there, huh? But do we beat Storm twice? We beat Storm twice with mono green decks. I don't know what's going on with Storm. It just seems like it's impossible for them to actually combo. Oh, and a Birthing Ritual. Beautiful Karn. Assassin's Trophy. Foil Urza Saga. Foil. These are good packs. Okay, so this deck is good. Let's go ahead and plan to play more of it tomorrow. I think this deck is good and exciting.